The Opium War was one of the more curious wars during the period of imperialism. The history of it dates back to the late 18th century when the Chinese government refused to open more ports to trade with British merchants. In kind of an effort to smooth things over, British King George III sent a diplomat to visit Chinese Emperor Qinglong. They bestowed gifts on the emperor, but at the same time they petitioned for the right to trade in other ports other than Guangzhou. Qinglong denied the right. Furthermore, he slapped the English king with an insult, calling him and all European countries barbarians. Qinglong told King George III that the Celestial Empire possessed all things in prolific abundance and had no need to import from outside barbarians. However, by the 19th century, British merchants began to cleverly find a way into China by way of an addicting drug known as opium. Beginning in the early 19th century, British East India Company officials began to trade in opium rather than silver, in exchange for Chinese silks, porcelains, and teas that were so coveted by Europeans. However, trade in opium was illegal in China, but it expanded rapidly for decades because Chinese authorities made little to no effort to enforce the law. By the late 1830s, though, the government began to realize that China had a trade problem and a drug problem. In 1839, the Chinese government took a bold step and destroyed 20,000 chests of British opium. Outraged, British commercial agents pressed their government into military action. The ensuing conflict, known as the Opium War, from 1839 to 1842, made plain the military power differential between Europe and China, and sent China down the road of foreign dominance. Their navy and infantry were no match for British steam-powered modern firearms. In 1842, China was forced to sue for peace, and were forced to sign a series of unequal and humiliating treaties which curtailed their sovereignty. The Treaty of Nanjing, 1842, ended the Opium War. In that treaty, the Chinese ceded Hong Kong Island to Britain and opened 5 Chinese ports to commerce and residence. England then slapped China with an insult of their own by making China grant them most favored nation status and extraterritorial rights to British subjects, which pretty much made them above the law in China.